CzarThwomp here, and welcome to episode 6 of Ace Attorney Investigations 2. Last time, we basically were doing some investigation around the president's plane. With Shelly holding Horace Knightley hostage. We found out some things, and then basically Shelly made his grand escape after deeming the job futile, and of course, as per always, Gumshoe failed. And now we are going to hear the justification of his failure of not being able to get Shelly to kill her. Other than the fact that Shelly is basically the Edgeworth of assassins.
The police were all called back to surround the plane. Right now, there's no one gone in the opposite shore.
That means he succeeded in giving us the slip.
Sure seems that way, Soy.
Mr. Prosecutor!
Horace Knightley. It seems you also had a narrow escape.
Yeah, that sucked! That punk!
Come to think of it, we found this near where you fell, Soy.
This is the killer's calling card!
Oh yes, Reb softened my wounds with this thing!
Looks like a message from him.
Calling card.
He always leaves this card next to his victims' bodies.
But you're not dead, Soy.
My dignity is dead right now, Detective Gumshoe. My dignity is dead. And all because of you. Which is why I'm going to squeeze the last of the life out of your pay. Perhaps this signifies something similar to a killing. Which reminds me, the last thing he said still bothers me.
However, I have already seen the truth. I leave the rest in your hands, Mr. Prosecutor.
Seen the truth? What do you mean?
Yeah, it's safe now!
What was that?
The president will be making his entrance now.
The president?
And then Horace, he just holds a gun to the back of the president's head. Oh yes, now you're mine! I'm going to be ruling Zhangfa now! Checkmate!
This man is the president of Zhangfa, Huang.
Oh, and he thinks he can outglare me? Well, I'll outglare him! You are?
It is an honor to meet you. My name is Miles Edgeworth. I am a prosecutor.
I am Huang. I have heard of your deeds. You saved my country from a great crisis. And you also shut Lang the F up, literally. Have you ever heard of him? Heard him talk? Lang Zi this, Lang Zi that. You think that Lang Zi descended from the heavens.
Is he referring to the Yatagarasu case?
No, I'm referring to you shutting Lang up for once.
I was simply solving a murder, nothing more.
Solving several murders, solving 5 cases worth of murders. Such modesty. I've been observing your investigation. An astounding performance, despite allowing the killer to get away.
Thank you very much! So he was watching through the security cameras.
Oh yes, because you were doing a lot to help out, President. However, I regret that it ends here.
What do you mean?
Heed my words, foolish prosecutor! You would have already been informed by Knightley! This investigation will be handed over to the esteemed police force of Zhangfa with our tight leather and our scrolls!
Now that the killer is gone, they intend to take over the investigation.
Hey, pal, what are you doing? And what's with that attitude? You're talking to my god! Mr. Edgeworth will smite you. He'll cut your pay. It's because of the killer and Mr. Edgeworth that...
Enough, detective! You want Lang to come after your ass? You want Lang back? No, we don't want Lang back. Mr. President, I cannot agree to this. Why must this investigation be handed over to your country's police?
Why, you say? Know your place, puny prosecutor.
Oh yes, glad to know that all of Zhangfa shares in the sentiments of Lang.
Wait, did Lang Zi write in his scrolls, "Thou shalt despise prosecutors"? Because that's the first tenet of Zhangfa law. If a prosecutor has a dick, you must hit them with a brick. That is one of the tenets of Lang Zi. That's probably in a scroll somewhere that Lang failed to bring out in the last game. Must I explain my actions? Nay, I think not. You shall hand over all the evidence you've found so far and leave this plane at once. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, be a good boy and do as you're told.
Why don't you be a good boy and go back to having a knife held at your throat? That's the only thing you're good at. I cannot resist any longer. It's like a bad porno. And just, meanwhile, Quercus Alba, he's just sitting in his jail cell. He's just snickering. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, you fool! You thought you could take on extraterritorial rights? Well, now who's having their rights taken by the Zangfanese? Taken by Knightley, yes. Why? Why won't you allow me to investigate this case any further?
Now then, would you kindly take your leave? Knightley, place the suspect under firm restraint. I'm on it, Mr. President! An attempt on my life! The murder of my subordinates! Such evil! Such sin!
I didn't kill nobody! I swear!
Shut your trap, lady! You dare question me? You dare stay in this world with deceit? Should we pardon this sin? Nay, absolutely not. It is most unforgivable. Fitter in a tight leather prison jumpsuit. My reasons being, there's no mistaking. Whoa, why am I being pushed off screen?
There's no mistake. The president is hiding something, and he's still talking. He's really going on.
How long will he keep talking?
If I turn back now, the truth will be lost forever.
Mr. Edgeworth, curse me!
Mr. Edgeworth, is there nothing you can do?
I remember the countless times I faced the dilemma in the courtroom. The lies of the witness, the rebuttals of the defense. And meanwhile, Phoenix, or rather that guy, sorry. Meanwhile, that guy, he's just sitting in his office just, screw you, Edgeworth. Just that guy, he's sitting in his office. He gets this sensation. He's like, and that girl,
What's wrong, Nick? What's wrong, Nick?
Maya, I had a feeling that Edgeworth was denying my existence again. I did not always have evidence to counter them. I always left it to that guy. Nonetheless, I was still able to draw out the truth of them. Yes, Edgeworth, you drew out the truth, you freaking glory hog. But then again, this is your world, Edgeworth. We just live in it. That's right. My words alone are my weapons. And my ability to cut everyone's pay. You have no power in my chess realm. Now then, let's analyze the situation. Looks like the president's gonna go on an assault. He's just gonna punch Edgeworth.
Leave this place at once. This is a direct order from the president himself.
He's not even listening. Any buzz I give, he cuts off. When he has that forceful attitude, I'll need to watch the situation carefully. My opponent is the president of Zangfa. I don't think he'll show any weakness easily. His words may be overbearing, but I need not to be intimidated. If I observe his behavior closely, I should be able to read his emotions. First, I'll start by asking about his reasons for taking over the investigation. Now, let's begin! A good opening line will put me at an advantage. Please, allow me to confirm your...
Nay, I don't recall granting you permission to speak. I am the president of Zangfa. You shall not talk back to me.
I'm not talking back. I'm simply asking for confirmation. This investigation will be taken over by the police of your country. Is that correct?
Exactly. This is all I will say. Restrain yourself from making any more unnecessary comments. That's enough. Being on this plane is tantamount to being on my country's soil. You cannot do as you please.
This plane? Is there something significant about this place? I should remember this clue. I'd like you to explain your reasons for depriving us of our right to investigate. Who do you think you are, Quercus Alba? You think you have the power to use... You think you watch the Steel Samurai? You don't watch the Steel Samurai!
Impudent fool! Hold your tongue! There is no reason. That should be enough of an explanation for you.
Perhaps a clue may be useful here. Gathering for what you've said so far, does that forceful attitude of yours have some connection to this place?
You insolent!
Earlier, you said that being on this plane is like being on your country's soil. From those words, I was able to deduce the answer. Namely, that is... freaking motherfucking extraterritorial rights! Because I did not get enough of that 2 weeks ago! Wait, you guys have a club where you talk about your extraterritorial rights? You blow a load into a tissue over your extraterritorial rights? You wish to claim extraterritorial rights inside this plane, am I correct?
That's enough! I shall brook no insolence! If you have nothing to say, be gone! You're wasting my time. Yes, that's what happens if you basically do a way too much.
It seems I should have been more decisive there.
Yeah, and you'll take a hit to your time. Basically, I wanted to show that because eventually we'd have to do that, so I was just showing you a little good. Basically, just you can easily get back to where you were. Okay.
Your words are forceful, but I cannot overlook them. The moment I mentioned extraterritorial... CzarThwomp, you're flabbing extraterritorial rights! What, can you only say that when you're doing your snowman Alba voice?
In light of your brazen courage, I shall grant you an answer. That's right! I am claiming extraterritorial rights inside this plane! However, what does that change? You are still powerless. There is nothing you can do about it.
I see. Under international law, the plane would be considered part of Zangfa. How convenient. If he wishes to stake this claim, then I shall question its validity.
Like I said, I love logic chess.
The next move will decide the outcome. He may be the president, but there is a hole in his logic. Let me break away.
I love how Edgeworth always voices his strategies out loud, as if these people aren't even listening to him. Is that one of the powers of the chess realm? Only Edgeworth can mask his voice?
Permit me to say this. Don't you feel that your actions are too forceful?
Who asked you for your opinion? All you need to do is obey! Forceful is the wrong word. It is authority, leadership!
So you arrested Miss Swift because you felt you had the authority to do so?
Yes, that girl is a criminal! There is no room for dispute! The shooting took place outside the plane. Only she could have done it.
That's it! The shooting occurred outside the plane! This could be a very important clue. I challenge the validity of your claim to extraterritorial rights. Because we're not dealing with this another game! I am not making this a repeat of Tournament of Blaze! I put my foot down!
Do you truly understand what it is you're saying?
Of course, and I stand by it.
You dare doubt my words! You have no shame! Such irredeemable ignorance! It troubles me greatly!
There's no need to worry. I do not need to be saved. It is Miss Swift whom I wish to save from these false charges that you have laid against her.
I admire your tenacity. However, your wish is unattainable. The extraterritorial laws are unshakable! This plane is Zangfa territory!
It's time for me to use that clue. Indeed, I do not question your extraterritorial rights inside this plane. However, you just claim that the shooting took place outside the plane. Yes, if it didn't happen inside the plane, extraterritorial laws do not apply. Your claim has fallen apart. Miss Swift's arrest is invalid.
Impossible to be busted by a mere prosecutor. I am the president.
Checkmate, Mr. President. In my Barbie!
Logic chest complete.
Mr. President, will you allow us to continue with our investigation?
I yield. I will allow it. My heart is generous. My heart is tolerant and merciful. Therefore, as such, certainly, thus we shall. It is our duty for our most noble cause. Gentlemen, now is the time. I, the President of Zhangfa, for the sake of the investigation.
This guy sure likes beating around the bush. Knightley, we have received the President's permission. Could you return our evidence?
Here. Knightley returned all the evidence.
You did it, Mr. Edgeworth! Indeed, now we can resume the investigation.
It's funny how happy you are just because I gave you your precious pieces back. It's not like I did anything to them while you were talking to the President. It's not like I'm giving away my true intentions and my role in this crime. Now let's see how well you use them. Like how well I use my second gun in the state of Alaska.
Pay attention then. Here's my next move. Mr. President, may I make one more request of you? Would you please testify about the moment of the incident?
Testify? Hey! Hold on a second. That's your next move? Isn't that the sort of thing you leave to the courts?
I am the courts, Knightley. I am the judge, jury, and executor of this, even though we don't have a jury. But I am the jury before the jury became a thing for one case only to disappear. Actually, it is a courtroom procedure. However, I'd like to hear what he has to say. If he refuses to cooperate with the investigation, he will have to give a clear reason.
That's...
Is there something wrong?
Knightley, stand down. I shall grant the honorable prosecutor's request.
I thank you for your cooperation.
Now, heed my words. Where was I when the incident occurred? Ah, yes, the stage. Then, Rook and Knightley suddenly appeared and stood in front of me. After that, I heard a gunshot and a red balloon bursting. And so, those two attempts to escort me into the plane. But then, the second gunshot. The bullet pierced through Rook's body and struck his bulletproof vest.
If that's the case, then the President's a victim too, right? It was an assassination attempt. Mr. Rook just happened to get caught up in it, unfortunately. But isn't it strange? Why would the victim want to interrupt the investigation? Of course, if this becomes public, it would cause problems.
I see! There's still some deep, dark secret behind this case, right?
You don't know the half of it, Gumshoe.
Certainly the President and perhaps Knightley too know of this secret. Without fail, I shall reveal it all for you to see.
I press! You know I press!
Are you aware of just how serious this incident is?
You naive man! Did you think I would be perturbed by that question? Of course, I am well aware of that coward attempted to shoot me. At that time, I was on the stage delivering my speech.
Did you realize there was a shooter when they appeared in front of you?
What was I doing at that time? Yes, the speech. During my speech, I was in a euphoric state, a state of nothingness and enlightenment.
So, you got nervous and you blanked out.
Nay, I have not forgotten a single occurrence that transpired during my speech. When Rook and Knightley appeared in front of me, I was surprised. I just realized I'm giving him my Pianta voice.
A red balloon?
You try my patience, prosecutor.
That was not my intention. I just want to make sure your recollections are reliable.
There were balloons on both sides of the stage, swelling red in the cloudy sky, as laid out in the security plan.
The security plans? Ah, the one from the bag.
They stepped in front of me just before the balloon burst. And so, yes, okay.
Attempted to escort you. What actually happened?
That's right, attempted! Rook and Knightley raised their attaché cases.
That's the moment shown in case photo.
They led me towards the plane.
What happened after the second gunshot?
Pitiful prosecutor! If you don't know that much, you're not fit for duty!
What's that supposed to mean?
I grow weary at needless repetition. It should be quite obvious. Even you should know the path of the second bullet.
When the bullet hit, what condition was the victim in?
Oh, he was truly a man among men. Still groaning from the bullet's impact, he grabbed hold of me and dashed into the plane.
So you entered the plane along with the victim.
I am to be protected. Rook was to protect me. That was his role.
He speaks fluently, but it feels like he's just dodging the questions,
He's a president. That's to be expected.
There doesn't seem to be anything out of place.
Since he's also a victim, he wouldn't have a reason to lie, So he said to be nothing but the truth.
On the contrary, there's one point that stands out to me as odd. Try to recall the state of the crime scene.
Really? Show me the evidence.
Perhaps I should review it one more time. Okay, let's just go through. Oh, God. Okay. Okay. Come on. Okay. Okay. I'm sorry. Okay. Alright, yes. Just want to make sure. Nope, we're game fail. That statement is contradictory. Have a look at the evidence.
It was inevitable. Knightley. Got it, Mr. Price. I'll pop a cab in his ass. Hey, Mr. Prosecutor, the only thing contradictory is your own statement. No! They're ganging up on me! Yes, this game has wonderful, wonderful moments. Well, the Steel Samurai is red in it. I knew it was one of those two. But this game has beautiful just penalty moments. This game may not have the game overs of the first investigations game, but the penalties are just so comedic and brilliant.
Alright, Balloon Burst, I'm afraid that's not the case.
What?
Please have a look at this piece of evidence. Can you see what has burst?
No! This is... What exactly?
You heathen president! How can you be fit for duty when you do not know the splendor of the Steel Samurai? Everyone knows about the Steel Samurai! If you live in society, you know about it! It's the Steel Samurai, warrior of Neo Tokyo. You do well to remember it. If you wish to win the support of this nation's people,
yes, because the Steel Samurai reigns supreme. You do not appeal to the Steel Samurai. You do not appeal to anyone.
And don't forget the Rouser, the Diamond Ninja's trash can. How many times do we have to go over that? One cord that died like the animal he is. The balloon was ruptured by the bullets was no ordinary balloon. It was the Steel Samurai balloon. The best kind of balloon.
But according to the plans, there should have been 2 red balloons. It said so right here in the security plan.
It certainly looks like there are only 2 round balloons drawn here.
Knightley, what is the meaning of this? Explain at once. Yes, sir! The Steel Samurai balloon was a last-minute replacement.
Replacement?
That's what we were told. Seems that information didn't make it to the president. We ran into a little trouble during the setup last night. One of the balloons that we had prepared burst.
So you scrambled to buy a replacement.
Exactly. We just happened to run into a guy manning a stand in the park. He said he'd lend us the Steel Samurai balloon. Larry! Edgeworth! He was kind of a poser.
A stand, a Steel Samurai balloon, and a poster. Damn it, Larry! You're ruining the country, Larry! You are ruining our country, Larry! Yes, Gordy is part of this. Gordy is officially part of the case. We pumped air into its red samurai bands to create a makeshift balloon. So the Steel Samurai balloon looked just like an ordinary red balloon. Is that what you mean?
Knightley! Why was I not invited? What, you wanted me to inform you that we were pumping air into a samurai balloon's crotch? Sir, I'm terribly sorry. I didn't think it was important enough to report.
Couldn't you tell by just looking at it? It's the Steel Samurai! For God's sake!
I did not notice it.
Sorry, Mr. The Steel Samurai's pants for an ordinary balloon. Was there a reason why you made that mistake?
Ugh!
What now? Did you have a hemorrhoid burst?
And then Grossberg, he comes on the way. Rest easy, my child. I will heal your hemorrhoids! Dorito dust! A moment, please. I just remembered now. I could not see the balloon very well.
You couldn't see it.
Exactly. At that time, the wind was strong. The flags on the stage were fluttering wildly, and they obstructed my view.
Excuse me, at darn lunch.
This is what happens when I record right after lunch.
The flags!
Did you not see the flags that were set up on both sides of the stage?
Getting hiccups. Give me a second. Okay, all good. Yeah, if you ever want to cure hiccups, the cure to hiccups is actually do some deep swallows a few times. Just make sure that there's no excess saliva in your mouth, and then take a few deep breaths. That will cure your hiccups in a matter of seconds. Due to the strong winds, they were weaving about just like this. So a strong wind was blowing at the time of the incident. The flags were fluttering wildly. Is there a problem with that? There is a problem. President Huang, you have my gratitude. Your testimony has helped uncover a new contradiction.
A contradiction, you say?
Yes, one that turns the very foundation of this case on its head. During my investigation, there was no wind at the crime scene, so the flags remained still. However, the flags were actually fluttering in the strong wind. This completely changes the meaning of that piece of evidence. Yes, basically, that evidence would be the bullet's trajectory. The gunshot rang out during the president's speech. The bullet struck the balloon and also pierced through the national flag. I had previously deduced that the bullet's trajectory using these facts. The assassin fired the bullet from the left side of the audience area. However, if the flags were fluttering about like so, my reasoning changes.
Since the flag's positions changed.
Correct. The bullet's trajectory also changed. And if we trace the trajectory of the bullet, we can tell who fired the shot.
But Mr. Edgeworth, that person is...
Indeed. I still don't understand why. However, it could be none other than him. Basically... Yeah, I'm gonna go over the ages now, basically. We have basically... Oh, right, Edgeworth, he's not part of this. Gumshoe, he's just still there. Yes, just Gumshoe, he's just homicide detective. Basically, Wang, Nicole Swift, Kay, Shelly, Horace Knightley, Ethan Rook. Just all of them there. So let's present Horace Knightley, just get that done. The person who shot the balloon was none other than you, Horace Knightley!
What?
Connect the bullet holes in the balloon and the flag, and the line points to you.
But that guy's one of the president's bodyguards! Why would he have shot the Steel Samurai balloons?
Alright, we'll answer that question next time. Anyways, I really appreciate you sticking around to watch this episode. You're a great viewer. We come back for the next one. If you like the video, like, subscribe, comment, share, do whatever you want. And with that, I'll see you later. Bye!